Tomas, and I am here to get my business idea roasted.
All right, Tomas, what is your business idea?
The business idea is I have named it Radical Difference. And that's because that's also the goal of the service. So I am looking to serve restaurants. And so have you ever noticed that there are some places where people are like fighting to get a spot in, like they want to work there? And then there are some who are struggling to keep employees, to attract new ones. And so I believe that the major difference between those two is culture.
Oh, I back up. I own two restaurants. Let's break this down. You're saying that there are some restaurants where people are like, I need to work there. I need to get a job there as a waiter or a waitress or a bartender. And then there are other restaurants where the restaurant owner cannot find a
People.
good employee. They just can't find him. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yes.
Is that just because they don't pay their employees worth of crap? What are we talking about here?
Well, I think that if you were like just say a host, right? You know that you're expecting to make what, 12 bucks an hour, right? But you want to work at a place where, you enjoy the environment and you feel like you're working towards something. Whereas, if you're coming in to work and you dread it every single day, you're not going to stay there for too long. And so like the thing here is like how can I make my employees come to work and be their best every single time, or at least attempt to. And so I believe that that is culture. Wouldn't you agree?
All right, but hold on. Let's back it up again. You're saying that in order to attract good, because what we're talking about is really like an HR recruitment type of offer. You're saying that, hey, I want good employees for my restaurant, right? I want people to work here and thrive. And you're saying that by creating company culture, that is going to be the key. But in my experience, creating a great company culture is what keeps an employee.
Right.
Okay. It's not necessarily what gets an employee because a lot of times they're unaware of this company culture. What gets an employee is things like pay, benefits, ability to move up, and then the culture keeps them. I always ask the same question.
Yeah.
Who do you help? What problem do you help them solve? And how do you help them solve it? If you can answer those three questions clearly, then you might have an offer here. But who do you help? What problem do you help them solve? And how do you help them solve it?
Who do I help? I help restaurant owners. What problem do I solve? I create systems.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Well,
But that's not a problem. Whoa, stop.
yeah,
That's not a problem. Do you know what the word problem means?
yeah, I think so.
Then tell me a problem. A problem is my stomach hurts. A problem is I don't have good employees. A problem is not
Right.
I create systems. That's a statement.
The problem that they have is that they cannot retain good employees or develop good employees. Therefore, that trickles into them not being to maximize the ability of revenue that they could bring in. Because if their employees were doing the job that they would expect them to do, then they would be attracting more clients because of the word of mouth, right? And the relationships that they could build through their servers, bartenders, hosts. And so that's the
This is
big.
an operations issue. What you're saying is I can't get my employees to perform. It's different than I can't find good employees. I mean, that is sort of the same thing, but this is more of an operations thing. This is more of a how to train your employees thing
Yeah,
and less of a I need to recruit good people. Okay. It's similar, but there's a distinct difference. So let me ask you this.
right.
Is your market small business owners? Is it medium? Is it corporate? Because corporate's already going to have all this figured out. They're already going to have a system, whether it works or not. They're not going to give a shit what you say. They're going to have their own little
Right.
Applebee's handbook BS, right?
Right.
So who's your actual market here?
So I was thinking restaurant owners who don't have training systems in place or operational logistics.
General Joe, the rag man guys.
Sure.
As a former restaurant and bar owner, I will tell you this. Most people who are not corporate, who own bars and restaurants, they are your average Joe who scraped their pennies together, created a restaurant. They generally are very, very stubborn people. Half of them treat their establishments as playgrounds, or they care more about the ingredients in their stupid pizza than they do actually their P&L, meaning how much money they make on the books, because their grandfather made some ingredient and nobody gives a shit but them, and somehow they think that makes it a business. They're sometimes very difficult to reach, all right? So the offer has to be sexy to where you sell them what they want, but you give them what they need. How do you know this works? You say you have a system for this?
Yes. So I have been in corporate, but I was in charge of people and training them, right? And so I got them to do things and to believe that they could do things, and therefore they did them, and they weren't good at first, but they developed into it. And so,
You wanna be a consultant. Hey, are you a small restaurant owner and you don't have the resources and the ability to create training and operations like the big guys? What do you think the biggest difference between you and a Chili's or an Applebee's is? Well, they have spent millions and millions of dollars over decades refining processes to get their employees to perform. Think about this. Why is it that these companies, who probably have way worse food than you, somehow are able to make more? Do you think it's because they have a lot more resources than you? Yes, that is why. Okay. And that those resources have been developed over years. What if you could have access to the same corporate level resources without having to pay enormous franchise fees, without having to come out of pocket hundreds of thousands of dollars to do so? What could that mean for your business? What if you could have the same effective employee training that produces XYZ results like Chili's, like Applebee's, like all these companies, but for your small business and restaurant? I guess at that point it wouldn't be so small now, would it? Like something like that?
right. Can I tell you something? I hired
Huh.
a business coach and I paid him $10,000 to kind of like start this.
Should have given it to me.
And so it's been 3 months, but originally, I quit my
Mhm.
fine dining restaurant job in Tampa so that I could launch a business, but I didn't think that what I had in my experience was valuable, and so I launched a social media marketing thing, right, like, with no real experience as to, because he said that I could potentially make 100K in 3 months, and now it's been 3.5 months, and I've had to like create new offers and landing pages, and I mean I've learned so much, but at the same time,
You know what? Let's dive into this.
I'm,
You paid a business coach $10,000, and what has this schmuck done for you so far?
well, like he's kept me accountable, but
Oh, great. What else has he done?
you know, yeah. Well, the other day I had a
Oh, that
very,
sounds amazing. That sounds
I
amazing for
know, right? I know,
$10,000.
I know. But listen, I will tell you this:
But what problem has he solved?
the reason why I hired him was because he was really good at selling me and he's really good at sales. But I don't think that he really thought through what, like the kind of client that he was getting and the result that we were expecting. And so I was expecting him to help me like create the offer, refine the offer, like, and kind of like what you're doing right now, exactly what you're doing right now.
Well, hold on. Did he promise you that?
He said, yeah, like, I believe that in 3 months we can get to 100K.
No, no, no. Did he say, "I will help you create the offer"?
No, he said, I will coach you in business. That
So then you're the schmuck.
I'm the schmuck.
So then you're the schmuck.
I am.
You're probably both schmucks. Okay. Look, I'm gonna help you out for the low, low price of nothing. Okay. Here's the deal. Let's just cut the BS. Your market is friggin' restaurants who are owned by mom and pop. They're mom and pop restaurants, mom and pop. They're not corporate, right?
Right.
And they have pain points. They don't know how to grow their restaurants by training employees to do what they need to do. And trust me, getting employees to do what you want them to do is very difficult. So basically, what you're kind of like here is you're like a John Taffer for these restaurants, but less about marketing and more about internal operations, employee operations. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to find these businesses and you're going to sell them a high ticket program where you yourself work with them. You develop systems for them. So, what I would do is I would charge them a minimum of $20,000 and I would just go in and build their systems for them and work with their employees. Okay. Have a weekly meeting with their employees where you're for X amount of weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. You build the system and then you meet with their employees on Zoom and you bring them in. And if it's local, you'll go in there and taffer it up and you'll meet with them personally. You charge $20,000. Does that make sense so far?
Except for the part like when you say employees, do you mean like all the employees or the managers who are managing people?
Fine, then have a separate meeting with the managers, and then you bring everybody else on. You gotta show them the system,
Okay.
okay? Fine, where it doesn't matter. I don't know. You're the guy, right? You tell me. You want me to wipe your ass for you too? Like, meet with the managers, meet with the employees, whatever you need to do. What I'm saying is you meet with the people you need to meet with to get the thing done. What are 3 things that you can do for a restaurant right now that'll completely transform the way that they make money and the way they handle their employees? Give me 3 things.
Well, first of all, I can give them a complete training guide with books onto how to train their managers, how to train their employees per.
Okay, no restaurant owner is gonna go read a bunch of books.
But it's not like reading a book. It tells you like, okay, now do this and now do this because oftentimes
Then don't
what
say that.
okay. Well, a step by step basically on like how to operate properly. And then two, I would give them systems of like operation, how to make your day by day go so where like it's effortless and it runs for you. So you don't have to be in the business working, but like they do the work for you. And then selling strategies, how to increase your revenue through selling tactics, right? There's just so much more that trickles down from that, but mainly that. You seem kind of confused, Dan.
Which just sounds horrible.
It sounds bad, but you know that it's good and they need it. I just need to refine my messaging.
They probably need to eat better and get their fat asses off the couch and go to the gym. So what? It's gotta sound good.
Okay. How do I make it sound good then?
Let's just boil this down. Tell me 3 things you can do right now to help a medium-sized restaurant make more money with their employees. Just fire them off bullet point.
Teach them how to sell. Teach them how to build rapport with their guests so there are repeat clients. I would teach their host stand how to create an experience. That's one. And then I will teach their managers how to lead their people so that they can produce. And I would teach them how to help the business owners save in labor too by optimizing their tasks and their responsibilities.
But you can build this all out for them. You can build a system for them where this is all tracked. You're not just gonna sit there and yak,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. I have already built a whole bunch of them. I've created lead magnets from your book, but I just didn't have the right messaging or
How are you gonna give them a system? What are you gonna use? You're gonna use Airtable? You're gonna use Monday.com? Like talk to me here.
no, like you do it in Google Docs and like it doesn't have so like people now think that they have to have this expensive software, but in reality, that's not what they need. They just need a clear system and like what works best is just this.
Bro, look. Let's get real here. Nobody
Yeah,
like
please.
you want to make money, you got to be able to have a premium offer and demand a premium price. All
Okay.
right? You're not going to just hand somebody a bunch of Google Docs, say thanks for the 20,000. You got to create something that they can easily follow. All right? The restaurant owner's busy, all right? Their employee came in and said, "Oh my god, my boyfriend who I made a terrible choice in life with, he kicked my dog yesterday and the cops came and then the cops arrested my boyfriend and now my dog's in the vet and I can't come into work today because I hired a guy that got out of prison 3 years ago, but you know what? He had tattoos on his neck and that made me wet. So now I'm going to go ahead and date that guy and ruin my life. And then you got to listen to this stupid friggin' crap. Trust me, I know. I've
Yeah.
owned a restaurant, all right?
Yeah.
From these people who are oblivious to how the world works, and you have to deal with that. And then you not only have to deal with that, but you have to get that mess of a person to actually go and be nice to a customer, write down the proper thing, do this, do that, remember how to upsell, blah, 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 blah. You think you're just going to hand somebody a Google Doc?
Well, no. Well, no.
Right, exactly. How are you going to get them to do this stuff and make it easy on them?
An example of this is, for example, when I worked in casual versus fine dining, they use the same strategies. And one of them is that they have a pre shift or like a shift meeting, like right before the storm, right? In which the leader will motivate and direct and tell them what the goal is, like what the expectation is, and they set the standard. But you'll be surprised the majority of restaurants, which they don't do this. And so they don't need us like a software or like nothing fancy. They just need to know what to do. They need the tactic.
Okay, so can you give them a Google Doc on how to run that meeting?
Step by
Walk them through
step.
how to run that meeting, ask them to record that meeting, and then you do a meeting review and you say, okay, here's what you did right, here's what you did wrong. Can you do that?
Absolutely.
So you see what I'm saying? You have to figure out, how can I make it as easy as possible on these people to get the job done, to get the result.
You know?
Okay. If you go in and you spend 12 weeks working with a restaurant and you get their stuff together, you charge them 20 grand, will that make them a ton more money than 20 grand?
100%.
What are three things a restaurant or an establishment must have in place where you would feel so confident that you could do this, that you would be willing to get paid after you got the result?
Well, they would have to have good food, because if not, I mean, we're not doing anything.
Good food is subjective, so skip that. Good food is subjective.
Okay. Um,
What are you gonna do? Go into their restaurant with a little good food detector, put it in the food and detect it?
I guess what I'm trying to say is that they must be somewhat busy, because if nobody's going, then you have a different problem then, you know?
They have to be experiencing some sort of customer overwhelm.
Yes.
Okay, what else?
They must have employees and or managers, people managing other.
So they must have at least one non-owner manager?
Right, yes.
That's gonna be tough. Most of the people are gonna be managing the restaurant themselves.
Okay, so I have a solution for that too. Majority of time, they don't have a key.
Alright, hold on. How about they just have 5 or more employees?
That works too.
Okay, great, done. What's the third one?
I cannot think of another one at the moment. I know, I know,
Oh, you better think harder.
I know.
Go to the gym, eat better food, get the brain in gear, drink more water. There you go, drink it up. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Think harder.
I think I've just been like overthinking it so much.
How do you know this industry so well and you can't tell me 3 things that you need a customer to have for you to be able to confidently work with them and know you can get them the result? Why is this a hard question?
They have to have employees, they have to have the customers, and they must have the willingness to, they must recognize that they. That's it.
Give me an idea of a piece of content you would put out to promote this thing. Or what are you currently doing?
I have created a lead magnet on how to turn your servers from order takers to money makers.
But like what type of content are you putting out on your socials just in general?
I haven't. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe put out some content about the oh my god, dude. What did your business coach tell you, huh? What did he just say? Create a lead magnet and now we're done? Like what are we doing here?
He didn't tell me that. That was my idea. But
What did he tell you then?
he told me to do market research and to go and into Facebook and look for, ask people questions. And so I did that, and I got a response from a group of.
Oh wow, wow, what amazing advice. How's that going?
Well, I got a response, and they told me that they think that I should consult, because people do need that, and that's a big pain point. So at least I know that there's a market for it, and that there's not a lot of people doing what I do or bring the solutions that I can.
10 grand. Amazing.
Right,
Amazing.
right,
Amazing.
right.
That's $10,000 advice right there. All right. Look, here's what you're going to do. All right. I'm going to solve your whole problem right now. All right.
Yeah.
Go out and find restaurant managers that want to come on a podcast and shoot the call it the manager's lounge. All right. Start a podcast. You bring people on and you get them to talk about all the things that sucks about managing a restaurant. And it's just a casual friggin' thing. You then create clicks. So see what we're doing right now? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Talk about all that stuff. Help them on that show. Give some advice. Then clip that up. Boom, that's your Instagram content. That's content that you can take,
Mhm.
drop the transcript into AI and say, hey, take all the stuff we talked about on this, write a friggin' email and promote my VSL, my video sales letter, which is one video where they watch the video, they go to your website, they watch the video, and hey, book a call, right? And then what you do is you just reach out to people who are restaurant owners or restaurant managers. You get them to come on the show. That'll be super easy. Hey, you want to come on and complain about how hard it is to grow a restaurant on my podcast? Easy peasy. Come on. Boom. And then at the end of it, if it's your ideal target, be like, hey, I have an offer where I can help you fix all these problems. Are you interested? Or do you know somebody that might be interested? And then what you do is you create a VSL that goes on your page and you say, hey, are you a restaurant owner that is struggling to get your employees to make you the money that you know they could make if they did what you needed them to do? Or do you not know how to manage your employees and get the most out of them? Look, if you own a restaurant, if you have employees, and you're overwhelmed with customers, and you know you could be making a lot more money, you know that you could get better employees or you could get more out of your employees, the next 60 seconds is going to change your life. My name is friggin' Tomas, and I spent X amount of years in restaurant corporate, and I learned the secrets of not just managing employees, but getting employees to produce massive amounts of revenues for your restaurant. Look, let's be real here. Companies like Chili's, companies like Applebee's, companies like Outback Steakhouse, they spend millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in salaries on people who have mastered the game of getting normal everyday people to work at your restaurant and make you a ton of money when they do. Unfortunately, your normal everyday restaurant owner who does not have millions of dollars, who cannot afford to pay a $260,000 salary to an operations or HR C-suite level person, you don't have access to this information. And if you did, boy, could you make a lot more money
Mm,
with your restaurant. Imagine if you had the same resources that corporate level restaurants have and are able to get out of their employees for your small restaurant. Well, that is what I'm here to bring you. I have developed a system from working with these corporations for the past X amount of years, and I specialize in helping the small business owner, the small restaurant owner implement these strategies so you can make a lot more money out of your restaurant by utilizing these corporate level tactics without the corporate level price tag. What I'd like to do is offer you a very exclusive opportunity where you can get on a strategy session with me. I'll take a look at your restaurant, your current employee structure, and I'll show you where the holes are in your restaurant management where you could be getting your employees to make you a lot more money. And by the end of that call, I will give you a dollar figure. This dollar figure is the amount of money you are losing because you're not doing what the big guys do. And then I'll map you out a plan for how to do it over the next 3 months. Click the button below to schedule your call. I'll take a look at your restaurant. I'll show you what you're not doing that the big guys are doing and how much extra money you could make if you implemented this plan. That is on your website. Link to book a call below it. You put out content with the restaurant owners, you do the podcast, you talk about all the things, you attract the right audience, you constantly push them back to that friggin' video, you test the video, you improve the video until it produces a very good booked call. You learn how to friggin' sell. If you don't know how to sell, buy my friggin' book, The Pocket Guide to High Ticket Selling. You get on the phone, you sell them, you say it's $20,000 for 12 weeks or 6 months or whatever. Here's what I'll do. I'll do a weekly call with your manager. I'll give you all the resources you need to run your employees. I'll meet with you. I'll do one meeting review per week, etc. You sell 4 of those, that's $100,000. How is that?
wow, wow. That was worth $10,000.
Did your
No.
$10,000 business coach give you any advice like that? This is why the industry boggles my mind. So what's your question?
If I have spent majority of my resources going through ideas, blah blah blah, and now I'm at the point where I might have to go get a job to like build up a little nest so that I can produce this.
What do you mean? What do you mean produce this? What do you need? How much does it cost to create an Instagram account? How much does it
Nothing.
cost to create a YouTube account?
Nothing.
How much does it cost to reach out to people who are restaurant owners and say, "Hey, do you want to come talk on my show?"
Nothing.
How much does it cost to have a little landing page with a little video and a little $10 a month Calendly that says book a call? How much does that cost?
Like $100 a month.
Spend some money on a friggin' landing page software and a Calendly account or something, okay? And friggin' put the video on, book the call, make the sale. Now you can afford stuff. Can you afford my book? I'll send it to you for free if you can't afford it. Have you ever read The Pocket Guide to High Ticket Selling?
No. Mm-mm.
I'll send it to you for free, okay? I'll send it to you for free. Read it, say it on the call, you'll make sales. It's pretty simple.
Thank you.
Does this clear things up for you?
I need a recording of this because this has been wow. Thank you. Seriously.
Send my bill to your schmuck business coach, all right?
Hey.
Buddy, you have an incredible skill here. Okay. You know how to do something a lot of people don't know how to do. That thing can help a lot of restaurant owners. Do not fiddle around with this. All right. This is a very clear, very simple way to make money. You're solving a major problem for people who, if you solve this problem, they can make a lot of money, more money with it. There's a struggling business owners out there. There's struggling restaurant owners that can't get their employees to produce. It is a problem. If you know how to solve that problem, all you have to do is be ultra clear on how to solve that problem with people and show that you can do it. You will have no shortage of people who want to come on your show that you can cut up into YouTube shorts, YouTube videos, Instagram videos, etc. You don't have to spend any money on ads. You put that content out there, it's going to attract people who have those same problems, and you will get attention. Okay, you will get attention. You can go into Facebook groups where there's restaurant business owners and all that. You can help them, and when you help them, they're going to click on your profile and they're going to check out who you are. The very first post on your profile should be a link to that video that explains to them how you can help them. Book a call, boom. You just do this every day.
Thank you so much.
Email me in 30 days and
Mhm.
say, Dan, I wasn't a schmuck. I actually did what you said, and tell me what happened.
Okay, I definitely will.